What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the stock AXON. If you're not familiar with which stock this is probably one of the most popular and one of the, I guess you could say, biggest penny stocks that has recently kind of boomed. So in this video, we're going to talk about that particular stock. So let's go ahead and focus on the screen and let me pull up the stock chart. So here you go. Now let's focus on the screen here. This is the stock chart of AXON. So AXON, what we're currently looking at here is a 1 year, 1 day chart. All right, so whenever analyzing a stock, whenever you're thinking about trading a stock, you should always be very concerned with looking at the daily chart. Okay, so the 1 year, 1 day chart kind of tells you a lot of information in a quick overview. All right, so more importantly, what I'm looking at here is a stock chart of AXON. This is the recent penny stock that ran about 500%. So if we go from the bottom here, basically when it started the move all the way to its high, it ran about 450%. So from about $1.19 all the way to $6.55. All right, so absolutely crazy big runner. All right, so let's go back to this yearly chart and we'll talk a little bit more about this. All right, so as you can see, back some time ago, the stock was trading all the way at $27.98. It took a massive gap down here all the way down to about $6, $7, and then it further dropped down and then kind of flatlined before this nice pop. All right, so some of you may be asking, why was it trading at 27, then just took a massive drop down by a further drop down? You may be asking all those questions, and I don't honestly know the answer. Considering they are a science company, I'm assuming they probably had some type of bad news, bad outcome with some of their drugs, and who knows, and that's probably the reason as to why they dropped. But more importantly, let's talk about why they're doing so well right now. Well, over the course of the couple days, they have had some good news. So you mix in good news with momentum, low float stocks, and it all just piles in and creates a big boom. That's all that happened. But let's try and explain it more in depth for you. So looking at this yearly chart, the reason we always look at the yearly chart is because the moving averages always tell us where resistance will be on the stock. So for right now, I can give you a quick answer. For most of you, you may not like it. For some of you, you may love it. But I would honestly say that AXON is nearing its top, and it's probably going to start crashing again and coming back down. All right. So for one, the reason we look at the yearly chart is because this purple line, or the 200 moving average, usually holds up as a true resistance. And as you can see, if I zoom in, you will notice that the price of the stock popped up to the 200 moving average, this purple line, and now it's starting to come down. But it did break through and then go down, all right? A lot of times you'll see the price go right to the purple line, stop, and come down, okay? That's on a 1 year chart. So what's that mean? That means if you're ever trading a penny stock and you're in it, and you're in a position and it's going up and you're winning money, you know, it's going up and up and up, and you're thinking, when's it going to stop going up? Pick a few seconds to look at the 1 year, 1 day chart, and with a 200 moving average on it, you'll be able to find where the resistance is at on that stock and where that stock will probably pop to and then start coming down. So let's continue further. So with that being said, I could say right now that there's a strong chance that we're going to start seeing AXON start coming down in the near future. All right. Let's zoom in and we're going to start looking at, let's just do a 5-day chart, because the 5-day chart shows us that, you know, it basically moved from 170 or $1.79 all the way to $6. So this is a really big move right here. All right. So on this front side, there was a huge move. Right, and you can see it topped right here at you know, 659. Then it dumped like crazy, and then it had another little red day, and now it's kind of trickling back up. So if I may explain kind of what's going on. This was the front side, big move, all right, nice bullish move there. And now this is the back side, okay. So we did start the backside, but do note that a lot of times when the backside happens, you got to understand that on the backside of these moves, right, there's a lot of short sellers. And whenever shorts pile into stocks, they can also cause them to go back up when they get out of their position. So all in all, I'm going to mark off some key levels here. So we got a high here at, not going to do it like that. We're going to do it like this. You have a high here at 659. So right now we're looking at a 5-day, 5-minute chart. So you got a high here at 659, almost. Oh gosh, there we go. All right, cool enough, close enough. High at 659. You also want to mark off some other key levels like this high here on this day. So if you draw right there and kind of match these tops, that makes sense right about there. You also had it right there. One right there. And then you're going to also have another one coming up on this backside, probably right about there. All right, I know I'm just going through and marking off all these levels. This is so you guys can personally see me doing it in real time for you on this video. So if you want to go back and see what I'm seeing, you'll be able to look and I'll explain all of them and you'll know exactly how to do it just the same. Oh, so close. It just doesn't ever want to go. That's close enough. All right, so I've marked off a bunch of these levels. There's even more levels in this, but what we're getting at here is AXON has had some really good news over the past couple days. The penny stock started popping up and ran from about $1 all the way to $6.50. Then it started to come crashing down. If you're not familiar, penny stocks tend to go to these phases where they start spiking up, they hit a high, they come crashing down. But in reality, what's happening is the penny stock booms, people make a bunch of money, then people start selling, and then short sellers start coming in and pushing the price of the stock down. So then now they're starting to make money, which then further scares other traders into selling, and then the stock continues to crash. And then what typically happens is eventually it'll find a bounce spot, and then it'll usually spike back up again, and then it'll come crashing back down again. So right now, AXON might actually be setting up for a good long play next week. So ideally, what we'd like to see happen is we do want to see the price of AXON. For one, it needs to hold up below this low on Friday, which was at a low of about 440, 430, okay? And, ideally, we want to say it's hold up below this line right here, which is at about 470, 468. Right, so let me draw this out for you. You can totally see the stock went up, it peaked, it crashed, bounced a little, crashed again, bounced a little, and now it's starting to kind of trade sideways. So if a lot of people on these past 2 days, which would have been Thursday and Friday, so that'd be 2 days, if any people on those 2 days were short, right? So there's 2 days there where people could have started getting short. If they start covering up, right? So on these 2 days, this one here and this one here, if a bunch of people are getting short and they're holding the position in hopes that this stock just keeps going down, 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 but it doesn't keep going down, 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 it starts going back up, what's going to happen is it's going to scare these short sellers are going to get scared, and it's going to cause the stock to start popping up. Now, if I were to go to a 180-day chart, ready? You see this? You see how on this 180-day chart, it's showing the stock went up, and then it kind of crashed, and then it dumped again, and then it got bought up, and now it's kind of curling maybe a little bit. You see that how it went down, and now it's kind of curling. So this might, in fact, be setting up for a bounce play on Monday morning to pop up again. So let me run you through all the quick scenarios, okay? All the quick scenarios that could happen. But first, before we do that, let's talk about these levels. So the reason I marked off a level here at 659 is that is just the high that it reached recently. The reason I marked off this area in here with this line is you can see that on Thursday, after it dropped down a bunch, it kind of consolidated right there. So that held a very nice support intraday. So once it broke through, that's a new resistance zone. Why did I mark this level right here? Well, on Thursday, that was the first low a day where we bounced significantly. So I'd mark that level off because we broke through it, and now that could be a new resistance. All right. And then why did I mark these two white lines off? Well, for one, on Thursday after the massive dump, that's kind of where the stock bounced. So that could be a significant level, which was also the previous high of day here on, that was, what was that, Thursday? So that would have been Wednesday then? Or wait, what is that, Wednesday? And that was Thursday. No, that's Friday, Thursday. Yeah, so on Wednesday, that was the high of days. If you run over, you'll see it bounce there. And then you also have this level here, which was still the high of day in which the stock bounced on Friday. So all those levels I've marked off are all of importance, all right? But if we go out and we look at this 180-day chart again, and we delete some of these drawings off, this is a very strong chance of what we're gonna see happen here. I'm gonna draw it out for you, as we might see this. Might see the stock pop up, ready? And then once it got to the top, a bunch of people, where I'm drawing these arrows, probably started shorting. They start driving the price down. If this stock starts to kind of do this and curl up and consolidate, all these short sellers might start getting scared and getting out of their positions down here where I'm drawing. And then they'll start causing the stock to go up, which could in turn cause some additional buying pressure from just people wanting to buy the stock. And then guess what? On Monday morning, we could see this thing start squeezing all the way back up. Let me get these drawings off. Could start seeing it squeeze all the way back up and retesting as high as the previous high. And then what we could see is we could see it fail and then start coming down. And then what would that form? That would form a perfect double top pattern. All right, that could form a perfect double top pattern. And if that does happen, what will happen is on Monday, or maybe in the coming days, or maybe it's 2 days, who knows, but it's a possible, there's going to be a good long play from, you know, this low all the way up to the high. And then what's going to happen is once it reaches that high, if it doesn't break through, people will then come back in and start short selling it. And then after that, if it double tops, then it will fully crash all the way back down, most likely to $1. Okay. Now, another thing that could happen is we could do this, right? You see where I'm about to draw this line? We could pop up to there and then start coming down, and then we just create a lower high and go like that. That's very possible. So again, there's a lot of different possibility that's going to happen, but what I can tell you is that this is the 450% runner. We've already hit the high at 659. We've already started coming down. People have already started short selling it. So now that people have started short selling it, we do have a strong possibility that on tomorrow, Monday morning, if this thing starts to trickle back up, we could see a big short squeeze, all right? But note that if we do see a short squeeze, there's going to be resistance where it might stop at about 520, 525, and there's going to be resistance again at about 565, 570. Then there's going to be another resistance at about $6, and there's going to be another resistance here at 624, and then there's going to be another one up towards high a day from Thursday, which will be at 650 or 660. And at any point, the stock could stop going up at any one of those levels, and then short sellers take over once again, and then they fully crash the stock. So I would say on Monday morning, it would not be, it wouldn't be a bad idea to keep AXON on watch for a long bias trade, okay? Only long biased if the stock can hold up above the I would say if it can hold up above 466, or if it stays above 467 or 450. Anywhere from about 450, that's kind of down there. Yeah, I would say anything above this low here at 437. So anywhere from 437 to about 460. If the stock can stay above that, we still have the opportunity of running a good short squeeze tomorrow, all right, or having some type of long bias setup. All right, so that's all I have here for you on this video for AXON. So I hope you guys do enjoy the video. Please do give me a like, share, and subscribe if you see value, and stay tuned for the next video.